Hello, and welcome to this tutorial on how to do an obituary search through the database NewsBank, presented by the Worcester Public Library. For this tutorial, you will need your Worcester Public Library Card number, which can be found on the back of your library card, and your 4-digit PIN. Once all those things are set, you can head on over to the Worcester Public Library's website, which can be found at www.mywpl.org. And once on the main page, you go to the Resources tab at the top of the screen, and under Research, select Online Databases. Once inside the Online Databases page, we'll scroll down to the subject list and click on Newspaper Articles. Under Newspaper Articles, we'll find two options for NewsBank. Today we're using the second, which is specifically for obituaries and death notices. So to access this, if I were in the library, I would choose the icon on the right, which is a small picture of the library itself. And if I were anywhere else that's not the library, like home or a coffee shop, I would use the one on the left, which is that little home icon. As you can see, we're now in the NewsBank database for obituaries and death notices. You will notice that it has not asked me to log in. This is because I had logged in a previous session, and it won't ask me to re-log in again. If this is your first time logging in, as I'm sure it is for many of you, a page will show up that will ask you for your library card number and your 4-digit PIN. If you're having any issues with these things, if your library card isn't working or your PIN isn't working, you can always call the library at 508-799-1655 or use the Ask a Librarian function on our website. To begin a search, all you'll need to do is type in the name of the deceased, any dates associated with their death, and additionally any obituary text that may be associated with the obituary you're looking for. Let's do an example where we look for the Worcester poet Stanley Kunitz, who died in 2006. As you can see, this very simple search has netted us 34 results from newspapers across the country. So we have Washington, California, Virginia. This is material from everywhere, which makes sense because Stanley Kunitz was a nationally renowned poet. So again, it makes sense that his death would have been reported in many different places when it happened. If I wanted to make a more concise search, if I didn't want to wade through all 34 results for the one that I wanted, you can also use these filters over on the side, including source type, publication, state and territory, region, city, month, day. Today, since I'm looking for the Worcester Telegram and Gazette's obituary for Stanley Kunitz, because I assume there will be an obituary because he was from Worcester, I can filter by publication. Once inside publication, I could type in a publication to search the list or select multiple publications from the list. But we can also scroll down and then, as we see right here, we have the Worcester Telegram and Gazette right on the bottom. So I can click on through to the Worcester Telegram and Gazette to see the obituaries that it has. So it looks like there are 2 obituaries. Let's go to this first one. So here we have a nice full obituary for Stanley Kunitz. It's quite large. Let's go back to the last page and see what the other one is like. It looks like they were printed about a day apart from one another. Yep, so this is another obituary, but just slightly different in its content. This one includes a poem that he wrote in 2005. So these are the 2 obituaries that we've found for Stanley Kunitz for the year 2006. If I had wanted to branch out and see if any obituaries had been written about him maybe 10 years after his death, I could have put the year as 2016 to see if there were any throwback obituaries, anything written about him at that time. But really, there are so many ways to narrow your search and to redistribute your information to find some really interesting things. So happy researching, and again, if you have any questions or issues, call us at the Worcester Public Library at 508-799-1655 or use the Ask a Librarian function on the website. Happy researching!